Here to talk about transcending silos and building cross product connections to deliver best in class user experiences. So, before I start, I want to give you some context so we can go to the next slide. So, as the demand for mobility increases, more and more firms are opting to invest in digital in order to find new customers, drive engagement with existing customers, and ultimately deliver new value for both customers and shareholders. Banks are largely the same in their product sets, their business models, and the role that they play in people's lives. So, in order to really differentiate as a company and truly stand apart and rise above the sea of sameness, they need to compete and win on the basis of the experiences that they provide. In fact, consumers struggle to differentiate between mobile banking apps. Visually and functionally, it's not part of their value proposition. According to Accenture banking research, consumers are really looking for a partner to support their purpose. According to online sources, there are 294 million smartphone users in the United States, and that's about 70% of the US population. Not only is adoption and usage of mobile technology high, but consumers are growing increasingly savvy. Expectations are rising across industries, including financial services. In fact, a recent experience review of US mobile banking apps reported that nearly half of adults expect that they can accomplish any financial task through a mobile device. So that's a pretty high bar. Go to the next page. So the mobility of customers and this lack of differentiation amongst the mobile apps in the United States has really presented us with an opportunity. We have an opportunity to take and assume a leadership position as the #1 mobile banking app in the US. In the post-pandemic world, companies are racing to create the next new best-in-class digital experience. In order to win, these organizations are focused on both customer purpose and intent in ways that will allow them to meet and exceed and solve real customer needs in a more holistic way. And to do this successfully requires a reimagination and a redesign of both the front-end experience design and the back-end technology stack. At Discover, we're seeking to achieve this differentiation through cross-product integration and innovation, which we'll talk about as we move forward in the slides. Next slide, please. So we'll start with, we've created this guiding principles for all of the company. The mobile team created these in order to use them as a framework as we work through our new design system. Our goal then in reimagining these new user experiences is to minimize and eliminate friction across all of our experiences, offer a needs-based solution. Needs-based solution meaning we're actually solving a real customer need, not one that we imagine that they might have. And we solve it at a customer level, not at a product level. And what does that mean? Well, customers have multiple relationships with us. So we need to treat them like we know that they have multiple relationships with us and treat them at the customer level versus each product individually. So these needs-based solutions need to be simple, transparent, and intuitive. And then we need to deliver these experiences with world-class speed, reliability, and security. I mean, really, those are just the table stakes now, and high expectations in performance of mobile apps. And then we want to leverage the capabilities that are native to the mobile devices and operating systems so that it's not just a cut and paste of the website into a mobile app. To date, we work more closely with our cross-functional partners than ever before, and we've been able to successfully drive consensus and alignment on new product requirements. As we scale this new model, we believe we will inevitably be able to deliver those new best-in-class user experiences that leverage state-of-the-art technology and the latest trends in UI and UX design, create back-end technical and front-end experiential designs that can be built once and used repeatedly at scale, meaning we'll reuse some of those components that we've built in order to actually get to the next piece, which is deliver more rapidly and more iteratively than ever before. Go to the next slide. So one of the ways we've done this is by moving to a product design. So let me pause and talk a little bit about this. So big P products are the products that we offer as a corporation: home loans, student loans, credit cards. The little p products are the breakdown of those into individual components, like biometrics login or check deposit capture or the integration with Apple Pay. And for these, we've created persistent small teams that are focused on their little p products. I think of them more as like Lego blocks. So if you have a team focused on biometrics, they have goals and metrics that they're working on every day. They have a backlog of features. They know what their issues are, and they're monitoring all the time to make sure that their product, their little p product, is as efficient and maximizes the experience as possible. The great value comes in taking these little p products or Lego blocks and actually creating structures from them that address a real customer need and an end-to-end journey. As an IBM executive once said, the last best experience that anyone has anywhere becomes the minimum expectation for the experience they want everywhere. And so in order for Discover to be that last best experience, to take that leadership position, to really differentiate, requires fresh perspective and a different approach. So this move to product structure was one piece of that puzzle. So we can move to the next slide. The next part of the puzzle was, how do we take the pillars of digital delivery, all the components that go into digital delivery, and reimagine all of those? So we're rethinking these digital pillars in order to compete and, of course, win that rising out of the sea of sameness that we talked about. How do we differentiate ourselves? So to drive this increased relevance for consumers and really differentiate our offering, we need to be rapid and deliberate in the design, build, and delivery of our product. In order to do this and successfully at scale, it required us to think differently about how we work. So we talked about the product design, but now how do we change the way we work through all of these dimensions? We created this framework for the pillars of digital delivery that positions our product to succeed. The benefits we expect to see as we move forward from the froms to the twos in each of these areas include purpose-driven solutions that focus on an end-to-end experience for both customers and employees, focused insights and dedicated experimentation through the development lifecycle, meaning we'll create a solution that we think will address the customer's concern or issue, but then we will test it and we'll make sure by going back to the customers and showing them prototypes and getting more feedback and doing this iteratively until we really feel like we've gotten to the right solution. A single engagement model for design and delivery that transcends organizational silos. We all have organizational silos, but in this case, we want to make sure that how we do design, the user-centered design and the design thinking principles are leveraged consistently throughout the organization. And a unified view of our customers that's powered by data and insights that cuts across all the products. We need to be able to recognize our customers when they come through the front door of our app and understand all the relationships they have with us. And if they want to create a new relationship, understand what relationships they already have. And in order to do that, we need to make sure that our data is unified and that we can understand the insights and interactions at the customer level. So the supreme focus in each of these areas will help us adjust and respond more quickly to evolving customer expectations, as well as new competitors in the market and innovative technologies. At the end of the day, doesn't product differentiation really boil down to how rapidly someone can deliver an experience that positively impacts your life? Next page. So one of the other things we did then was we talked about the pillars of digital delivery. We talked about the little Legos that we had built with the product model. And then we wanted to sort of experiment with, could we reimagine an end-to-end customer journey and develop it in a new way to differentiate ourselves? So we assembled a cross-functional team from across the enterprise that included legal, customer service, business technology, product owners from across the organization that owned bits and pieces of the journey. And we assembled them with new design agency as well to reimagine the journey. So first we started with how does it work today? So we remapped the entire end-to-end journey tediously down to the detail on what are the current flows, what's each step across the entire journey end to end. So this would have crossed multiple departments, multiple products. Once we had that, we said, okay, let's set that aside. And now if you had a blank piece of paper and you could have no constraints whatsoever, how would you design this process? How would we want this journey to work? And we mapped that out, including lots of ideas. So that ideation session actually came up with 500 ideas. But then we now knew where we were and where we were going. We actually even watched real consumers interact with that journey in real time to really understand the pain points. And now we're just creating a program that gets us from where we are now to where we want to be, that North Star, in iterative continuous improvement in implementations. If this works, and if this gets the unlock that we really think it will, then we will have a backlog of these journeys, and we will create a mechanism to prioritize these moving forward. We can move to the next page. So I want to talk about a little bit about where we've been in the last 2 years and examples of everything that I've been talking about thus far. So in April of 2021, we redesigned our portal page. The portal page is where customers land if they have more than one relationship with Discover. This is the jumping off point for their journey. And in this case, we introduced the new design elements that we were developing as an organization. And we also started to introduce and experiment with the modalities of the phone. So introducing swipe gestures, being able to reorder the accounts in the way that they appear on the page. And then also starting to use some tooling to do that test and learn capability within the mobile app. Then in May, we did the redesign of the entire app. The company had already gone through a new design system implementation, and we had taken that and created a digital library version of it. And then we introduced this to our customers over a period of about 6 weeks because we really wanted to understand how this would be received, and we didn't want to just do it in one big bang. And so in this case, the element I want to highlight is that because we were in the product structure, we were able to deliver this redesigned app in sort of record time, at least record time for us. The next is biometrics. And again, there's a dedicated, persistent team that just works on biometrics. And in this case, biometrics is the front door of our bank. If you can't get in the front door, you won't see any of the features that we have to offer. So we wanted to make sure, and this is their first impression. So you want it to be seamless, reliable, always available. And so we redesigned not only the interface, the front end, but the back end as well, the tech stack that supported it, to simplify the code, to make sure it would be as fast as possible and really with the less friction as possible as well. The next few projects are really about big products that the company has been sponsoring, but I'm going to highlight the mobile pieces of it. So for the April launch of cashback debit, this is a new product for us, or a relaunch of our cashback debit product. And there's a lot of great features that the business has come up with to offer and differentiate the product on the market. But from a mobile perspective, the things that we're super excited about is that we took a legacy web application and created a native application flow. And so what does that mean, really? Well, that means that instead of, and people may not even notice, but when we had an application, it was actually going to the web. And that can become a little clunky and a little laggy for customers. And so the navigation is different. And actually, you can start getting lost in that navigation. And it was a customer pain point. We were able to create a native application flow, which leveraged then our ability to leverage some of, again, the mobile capabilities of the phone, streamline the disclosures so that they were more easily readable by customers and understandable by customers. And then creating new CTA, new call to action buttons and things that make them much more clear. So this was, again, one of our first forays into actually creating native, purely native application flows. And then finally, a product that we're super proud of that we just launched is our new privacy policy protection product. And again, the business has come up with a great product that meets a need of the customers in the security space and a gap that existed in the industry for this, which is basically we will search the web for some of those people search sites, and we will delete information if we find your information on those sites. And it's a free product. And so that's an awesome feature. But what we think as a mobile team was even more awesome is that this is a mobile only feature, meaning you cannot get this feature or product if you're on the website or call into the call center. So this is really exclusive to the mobile app. And because of that, we really wanted to make sure it was a showcase product from what the capabilities are, at least starting to showcase those. And so we added animations, and you'll see that if you get this product, and I think there was a little bit of it in the slide, animations, the visuals of the dashboard are much clearer, and it's much more user-friendly than we've had in the past. So we're really proud of that product. Go to the next slide. So what are the key takeaways from all of this? So we talked about the balance between business and technology requirements. And again, this is because delivering and solving customers' problems is great, and delivering those features is great. But we need to be able to deliver it in a way that meets customer expectations in terms of speed, reliability, and security. So it's that balance of technology and business that's going to be key. Building that consensus, that 360 involvement. I can't tell you how exciting it is to actually be part of a project where you bring multiple products together and take those Legos and build something new for customers. The team is excited, and I think the unlock and the possibilities are really exciting for us. And finally, little I innovation. I mentioned if we do this right, and that ideation and blue sky thinking is encouraged, you can get a lot of great new ideas. And we had 500 new ideas that we culled down from. But it's not easy. That mindset shift and actually allowing people to feel unconstrained and imagine new possibilities takes some work. It takes some encouragement and pushing. So it's not as easy as you think to actually accomplish. But once you get the unlock and you have all of the disciplines in the room together, it's very, very powerful. So focusing on digital reliability and the customer has us connecting these products into cohesive end-to-end customer journeys to meet customers' intent. What did they mean to do when they came to us, and what was going on in their lives at the time that they logged in? Being able to anticipate those and personalize those experiences. Well, thank you for your time today. I look forward to taking your questions.